I'm going to show you a few of my favorite Google Chrome tips and tricks that I use all the time. The first few that I'm going to show you are kind of dealing with cleaning up your browser so that when you're screen sharing or recording your screen, it looks really clean and organized. So the first one has to do with your extensions. I have a handful of extensions up here at the top. If I wanted to make this a little bit more clean looking, you'll notice if you click up here, it creates this double-sided arrow where you can click and drag, which essentially hides or reveals all of your extensions. So that's tip one if you don't want your students or whoever is viewing your screen to kind of see a lot of chaotic extensions up there. Okay, my next tip has to do with my bookmark bar. It's nice and convenient to have a lot of bookmarks, but you'll notice that these are all icons, whereas these have words by them. I can recognize what these icons are or what the website would be just based off the icon, so I like to keep it just as the icon. So to change that, after you've bookmarked something, you'll just right-click and go down to Edit. Where it says Name, you're just going to delete that and Save. And then you'll notice it takes away the words, and now I just have the icon, which I feel like cleans up my bookmark bar and makes it look a little bit better. So that was tip two. Tip three has to do with my tabs. So if you're like me, then you usually have 8 million tabs open on Google Chrome at once. So what I like to do is I like to pin tabs. You'll notice over here my Google Keep icon is a lot smaller than my other two. And what I did to that is I pinned it. I use Google Keep constantly throughout the day, and so I like to have it there all the time. If I close out of Google Chrome and I pull it back up, this Google Keep is always going to be there. It also makes it where this X disappears so I don't accidentally close out of it throughout the day. If you want to pin your tabs, all you have to do is click on the tab, right-click, and go to Pin. And then you'll notice it makes it into a small icon. If you want to unpin it, you just right-click again and unpin. You can close the tab from there, but then it just makes it where, again, they're small, organized, concise when you're recording your screen. Can't accidentally close out of them if you are going to be using it frequently. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to switch over to my school account within Google Chrome. And the way that I did this is I am going to click on my picture and I'm just going to go down to my school account. You'll see I have a lot of accounts linked, but the beneficial way of doing it this way is I'm never going to get that permission request or things like that because I'm switching Chrome browsers completely. So it has all my bookmarks for my school account saved differently than for my personal one. So you can kind of see my pin things are different, my bookmark bar is different. It is like a whole different browser when in reality I can have all of my accounts right there. It's really nice. So my next tip is going to deal with Zoom. So I'm sure everyone knows that you can Zoom on websites, but what you may not know is you can set custom Zooms to always default to that. So if you'll notice, my Canvas page is automatically much smaller than my Google Drive. And my reason for that is when I go into things within Canvas, I want to be able to see my full window at once for grades or things like that, whereas I don't mind as much on my Google Drive. So to set your default zoom, you just go to the three dots on the right-hand side, and where it has this zoom feature, you can adjust it, and no matter any time that you pull up that website, it's going to have that zoom set to that particular percentage, which is really nice. You're not having to constantly change it when you're switching between different tabs. So that was my next tip. Now, my next few tips have to do solely with my tabs and searching. So if I was looking for a particular item on Teachers Pay Teachers. Then I could type in Teachers Pay Teachers, and once I have that in my bookmark bar, instead of pressing enter or return on a Mac, I can press the tab button, and then I can type in exactly what I want to search for on Teachers Pay Teachers. And instead of me having to go to the website, type it into the search bar and search it there, I did it all right from my Google Chrome browser. And that works from anywhere. If it's Amazon, if it's Google, whatever it is, any website that you have a search bank, you can search that way by typing it in and pressing tab instead of return for searching that particular thing. The next tip I'm going to show you with searching in Google Chrome is if I'm on a website and I want to open up something new, I want to search for, I don't know, let's say dolphins. Then instead of pressing just the return or enter key, you can press the Alt or Command if you're on Mac while you press that return, and it's going to automatically open that up in a new tab for you so that you didn't lose what you were doing on this tab, and you can still click around on that website, but you have this other tab now open that you can search from. So again, and then if I wanted to search for tigers, again, I'm not going to just press return. I'm going to press Command return if I am on a Mac, or Alt return if I am on Windows. And it opens it up in a new tab without losing my previous tab. My last tip is if you have a lot of tabs open and you are working on this page but you're trying to maneuver back to another one, instead of having to come up here to the top and click on it, an easy shortcut that you can do is on a Mac, you would press Command on your keyboard and whatever number tab it is. So if I wanted to go back to number 1, then it would go to number 1. If I wanted to go to 3, it would go to 3. So Command and whatever number 1 through 9 that tab is, it'll automatically take you to that tab. On PC, you would just press Control and whatever tab number 1 through 9. Keep in mind that does include your pinned tabs. So as you'll notice, when I did Command 1, it brought up my Google Keep because that is my first tab, whereas Command 3 is my third tab. So hopefully those tips helped you and are things that you can use on a day-to-day basis just like me.